Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Claudette and I am your Jamaican Gypsy Granny, and today we're going to be talking about traveling to Jamaica and how you can get here on a budget. Now for those of you who don't know very much of Jamaica, let me just give you a little synopsis of who we are. Now first of all, most people think that Jamaica is just a beach, sand, sun, and you know that thing the way you smoke. Yeah, that I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it on YouTube, but everybody just lump all of that into what and who we are. But Jamaica is so much more than that. Jamaica has produced some of the greatest actors. Right now the biggest one going around is who? Aaron Pierre. I mean, I know he wasn't born here, but he has Jamaican in him. His mother is Jamaican, so we claim him. Okay, I feel with that. Anyway, so we have many actors. Mad Sinclair, Grace Jones. A lot of our prominent artists came out of Jamaica. And one day I think I might do a series on our artists, and you know who I'm going to start with first, of course. But then again, we also have lots of sports figures that have carried our banner across the world. Okay, continuing on, there was somebody moving their car in the background, and I decided to stop speaking. I'll cut that out. It may be a little awkward, but yeah, I'll just cut that out. Anyway, so speaking of sports people, the first thing that comes to mind when everybody thinks of Jamaica is Usain Bolt, of course. Now, Usain Bolt was, you know, an icon in the sports industry all over the world. Also, we have Asafa Powell. What is Pocket Rocket name again? Shelly Ann Fraser. Oh my God, I should never forget that. Shelly Ann Fraser. We have produced notable people all over the world, including, of course, the Honorable Bob Marley. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about getting you to Jamaica on a budget. Alright, which is quite doable. Now, if you'd like to get more of this information and follow me, I would sure appreciate it. So follow me, hit that subscribe button. Oh, you don't know, hit the subscribe button or the notification bell so you get notified each time I post a video, as well as, you know, after you watch the video, leave a comment, tell me, you know, if I missed anything, what you'd like to know. But anyway, let's get deep into this now. The first thing I'm going to tell you, the first thing I'm going to ask you to do if you want to visit Jamaica on a budget is to plan ahead. Now, planning ahead in anything is always advisable, especially if you're traveling. Now, if you want to travel to Jamaica on a budget, the best thing to do, plan ahead, pick your time, and also the earlier you book your tickets, you're usually able to find a cheaper rate. It also will allow you, if you plan ahead and book early, then you may be able to get better pricing on your hotel. Alright, so that's number one. Number two, I'm going to advise that you try to come here in our off season, which is usually, I think, May to November. That's what they say it is. So May to November is our off-peak season, and during that time you'll be able to access lower hotel prices, better tours and stuff. You'll have less people here. The hotel rates will be cheaper. Flights will be cheaper as well, because during the off-peak it also affects the airlines as well, so you will get cheaper rates as well. So not only are you booking early, you're booking during the off season, so you're supposed to get double savings over there. All right, and just to remember though, our May to November season is usually our rainy season, so plan for that. Watch out for watch the weather system to see what's happening, to make sure you're not caught off guard. All right, let's go to number two. Okay, I said that was number two. That was actually well, whatever, with a on the list. We don't have to list it out. Okay, the next thing I'm going to advise you to do is when you're coming here, try to book the cheaper hotels. I know that the all-inclusive are usually super expensive, and one of the drawbacks of booking into an all-inclusive hotel is that they usually discourage you from going out to get to know the people, get to know the island, get to see places. And yeah, I mean, come on, surely you really don't want to come all the way to Jamaica, come sit down in a hotel and look at other foreigners. No, you want to get out there and get to know the people. So try to find cheaper accommodations. You can usually find hostels, They have cheaper hotels. You can do an Airbnb because Airbnb offer multiple advantages wherein if you get one with a kitchen, you can maybe practice your hand at cooking something. You don't want to cook every day, but sometimes, that will help to ease the burden financially. And also, it's a lot more flexibility. So when you come in here, try to find cheaper accommodations. That's step one. Eating on a budget is the next thing I'm going to talk to you about. Now, excuse me. The reality is that there are expensive hotels, there are expensive restaurants, and there are cook shops. And cook shops in Jamaica are famous for providing delicious food at cheaper prices. And the reality is that many times when you go to a cook shop, you'll get it better seasoned because the hotels, they have to cater to the foreigners who cannot handle spices as much as other people do. So if you want to get the real flavor of Jamaica, I would suggest you try going to your corner shop, your the cook shop down the street. Another thing you can do is check out the jerk spots. The jerk man on the road. You'll find people selling soup on the road, and we have high standards here in Jamaica, so usually these are very safe to eat. So you can check out the man selling the shop by the corner. Sometimes it's the sweetest soup you'll ever find. The jerk pan man, best jerk chicken. Jerk pork man, you'll find that too. Also, don't forget to check out our patties. Now, our patties are famous all over the world, so try that. So these are just tips to help you to eat on a budget. And as I said, sometimes if you're in somewhere where you can cook, you can actually buy the food and rock up a meal. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. All right, so that's number 4. Let's move it right along. Oh, I forgot to tell you about China street food with jerk pan and stuff, but I have to remember to tell you street food Saturdays. I think that's usually in the afternoon. Which part is that? I don't know, you have to Google it. But street food Saturdays is now a thing in Jamaica where you can go out there and find all sorts of chefs cooking up a storm and serving you delicious food. Before I post this video, I'll find the address and put it on the screen. Alright, so make sure you go out there and try our seafood. Alright, another thing we need to learn to do is to get around on a budget. Now, if you're on your own, basically you can call Uber and stuff, and which is probably quite reasonable. But if you want to really get into the culture and get to know the people of Jamaica, you may want to try taking the bus sometimes. We have the bus routes that travel, which are the big yellow buses called Juta buses, and those travel on a specific location. But then most of them don't travel in the rural areas, and this is where most tourists would go. The alternative to that is that you have the coaster buses, which are usually licensed by the government, and they take you from one point to the other for a cheaper rate, which is more expensive than the yellow buses, but it will get you there. You also have route taxis, which is a shared taxi system that operates on routes, and they can take you from one place to the other, and it's usually pretty easy to find the transportation locally. Another thing I want to tell you about is the Knutsford Express. Now, the Knutsford Express is similar to, oh my god, my head not good. Anyway, it's similar to the Greyhound, right? It's similar to the Greyhound, and most people know what the Greyhound is, and so it's similar to the Greyhound, where it takes you from town to town, city to city. In style, they usually come with a luxury setting where there's a bathroom on the bus, which you're not going to find anywhere else, and especially when you're traveling for a long journey, this is something you might need. So check out the Knutsford Express, okay? Another thing you may want to engage in, because of course you're going to want to find things to do that are not as expensive if you're operating on a budget. Now, Jamaica offer a lot of free activities that you can, free or low cost activities that you can attend. I'm going to give you a list, but you excuse me because I'm going to read from the list because I'm not going to remember all of this. So just give me a minute while I read. Now, first of all, I don't have to check the list for the beaches. Beaches in Jamaica are usually free. Most of them. If they do charge, it's a minimal amount just to help to maintain the beaches, which I think is reasonable, but most of them are free. The 7 Mile Beach in Negril is free, and there are others that are free, so just Google, and there are beaches. Most places you go, you will find a free beach. Another free thing to do is you can go and visit the Hope Gardens. I mean, you can hop on a bus, go to Kingston, visit the Hope Gardens and Zoo. You'll find some lush flowers and stuff and all sorts of things. The zoo is there, and I think they used to have like rides, mini rides. I don't know if they still do that. Another thing you could check out is the National Gallery of Jamaica, and that is another thing where if you're an art enthusiast, you can go there to check it out, and you will, you know, be pleasantly entertained. Now the list is very long, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the description box the link to the partner blog, because I do have this on my blog. So if you go over there, you'll get all this information at your fingertips that you can refer to and see the listing. All right, thank you. I want to mention before I move to another topic, because these are two important things. Try to visit the markets, the marketplace, because when I travel, one of the things I really like to do is to go into the market. Nothing introduces you to the people as much as visiting their local market. Also, you may want to check out the craft market, especially if you're looking for goodies to take back with you. Okay, here are some free events that will introduce you to the local culture if you want to experience a little bit more of the local culture. These are some free events. My tongue really has twisted up on me, but hello, we're not into the Olipa editing. Okay, so one event that happens every year is the Reggae Marathon, and it is exactly what it says it is. It's a marathon with people running with reggae music playing in the background. So it's something, if you want to participate, there may be a small fee, or you can just go out there to cheer on the runners, enjoy the festive atmosphere, and listen to some reggae music for free. All right. Another activity that occurs, it's every March, we have the high school championships, which if you are a sports buff and you want to see this free running, you can come during that period and go and check it out, because one of the things that happens is a lot of our national athletes were actually discovered during these events. It used to be where there was a separate event for boys and a separate event for girls, but now they just have one event for everybody. So go and check that out. We also have Carnival, which happens every year, and this happens in March as well. So if you want to come here and jump some Carnival, you can do that. Two other things, we have Reggae Sumfest, which there's a cost. I think those are usually pretty expensive. But as I said, if you want more information on local things you can do, go check out the blog. All right, now let me give you some money tips. First of all, I would suggest that when you come here, you park your US dollars, change out what you want to use, and use Jamaican currency only, because when you try to use US currency, it's only going to cause you problems. It's easy enough to go into any ATM and pull out the equivalent of what you want in Jamaican dollars. Another tip I'm going to give you, do not pull out too much money at a time and walk upon the road. Just pull out what you need for the day. It may cost you a little bit more to go every time, but it may be worth it. Or if you want to pull it out and leave it where you are, whatever you want to do, just don't walk around with a lot of cash. All right? One other tip, you need to be able to be flexible with your travel dates. Being flexible with your travel dates, it allows you to get a better deal, because say you book for this date and something cheaper comes up, you know, can make the change depending on how much you want to save. Another tip, set a daily budget. When you set a daily budget, this keeps your spending on track and have you not overspending and spending money that you don't want to spend. And my last tip is something that I do when I'm traveling, travel light. Half of the times, especially us as women, we'll pack up a suitcase with one whole heap of clothes that we don't even wear. Jamaica's weather is very hot, so quite likely you'll be wearing minimum amount of clothing most times. So you don't have to bring this old bag of clothes. Pack light. If you can manage a carry-on alone, that is probably the best thing for you. So I have come to the end of the video, and I hope you get all the tips you want on how to come to Jamaica on a budget. And if you need more information, as I said, check out the blog. It will be in the description. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and come back for more travel tips from your Jamaican Gypsy Granny. Ciao. Walk good.